what did happen to Hildibrand and Nashu after they fell into the interdimensional rift? Were they abducted by aliens? It's time to solve a new intergalactic mystery.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Eorzean Archons. I'm FaZe.
And I'm Catherine.
Join us on our journey as we summarize the optional side quest, Somehow Further Hildibrand Adventures from the Endwalker expansion. Beware of spoilers from Endwalker, as well as the entire Hildibrand questline.
We hope you enjoy.
Suspect Lalafell sighted near Radzahan wearing pink and a big yellow hat. He's a known creep. Approach with caution. All units respond.
Dispatch, I'm in the area. I'll check it out, over. Dispatch, I have eyes on the suspect. He's looking extra creepy. Gonna call in backup for this one, over.
Backup has arrived.
Shh, not so loud.
Backup has arrived. Sorry. I see the creepy Lullafells in question. Moving in to arrest the suspects.
No, Cat, wrong Lullafells. That one, over there.
Ah, my bad. All Lullafells look creepy to me. But you're right. That's our suspect. I recognize this one. Isn't he the stalker that follows Nashu around?
It is. But why is he here? Nashu fell down the interdimensional rift with Hildibrand, the evil alchemist, and Gilgamesh. Is Nashu somehow in Radzahan now?
Dispatch, we're moving in to question the suspect. Please stand by. Over.
Looks like we're off on another adventure.
Nashu's stalker recognizes us immediately as the Stone Cold Killers he asked to look after the love of his life in Kugane. He tells us that after Nashu got sucked into that weird portal back east, he's been scouring the world for any signs of her. Thankfully, he found her here in Radzahan, of all places. She's tending to Hildibrand, who's here as well, but he's unconscious. All the medicine Nashu has tried to give him doesn't wake him up either. Concerned more for Nashu's distress, the little stalker asks us to assist her in saving the inspector.
We find Nashu over in the Crucible, doing some sort of alchemy. She's excited to see us, given how long it's been. We tell her we're here to help with Hildibrand's condition, and sensing our general confusion, she first addresses the question of, what about the whole weird portal business? She explains how Gilgamesh, enthralled by the Dew Prism, opened a strange rift. They floated around in this so-called interspectorial rift until Gilgamesh came to his senses and used the same trick to bring everyone back home. Well, everyone except the oaf himself, who said he had a score to settle and remained in the rift.
Ever since then, Hildibrand hasn't opened his eyes, and Nashu's been working on all sorts of apothecary stuff to wake him. But she's made great progress along with Mr. Chupacabra. Wait, the evil alchemist behind Dew Prism? Speak of the devil, Jubraka, chairman of the Sajatra concern, comes by and reintroduces himself. He knows our concern is not unwarranted, but brushes off the past and says his time in the rift has changed him. As a token of his good faith, he secured Nashu's workstation and has been assisting in the effort to wake Hildibrand.
But Jubraka is a busy man with all that's going on, so he takes his leave, concealing a devious smile. Seeing as we're jumping into this a little late, we ask to see Hildibrand for ourselves, so Nashu takes us out to his room in Kama. According to Nashu, even this room was paid in full by Mr. Chupacabra. And there on the bed lies Hildibrand in a state not unlike the Scions when they were summoned to the first. His body is cold and stiff, but he's still breathing. We explain to Nashu that he may have been summoned to the first, probably to become the Gentleman of Darkness, and until his soul is returned to the source, he won't wake up. Thankfully, we can travel there and guide him home.
After arriving in the first, we stop by to see Glenard in the Crystarium to ask if he has seen our friend around town. We explain how we're searching for a muscular man in what is probably a tattered suit. Glenard says the description sounds familiar, probably from a bounty hunter who saw such a man when we were here a while back, battling the spectral warriors of light. He calls over to the bounty hunter, Jiat, who greets us and recalls that she did see someone like that back on the battlefield. However, instead of attacking her like the other spectrals, the man just stood there, striking poses. In general, disturbed by his poses and spectral glow, Jiat decided to clobber him just to be on the safe side. That does sound like our gentleman friend.
All this talk in the bar draws over two more familiar faces. Turns out, Thaler and Vonard have been searching for this renegade poser for quite some time now. They've spotted him in Lakeland and are tasked with ceasing his actions lest they lead to more aggressive behavior. Seeing as this is our best lead to finding Hildibrand, we decide to join them in their search. We head out to speak with the locals of Lakeland and to get the latest on any sightings. We ask around and then group up with Thaler and Vonard to share our findings. We tell them that this poser hasn't been causing any harm and has actually been helping people. All of the sightings were in the Forest of the Lost Shepherd, so we head out to investigate further. You know what needs to be done, Cat.
Don't look at me. I don't dance.
Fine, but if any oil massages come up, then that's on you.
Once we arrive, we activate our secret plan to find our friend. The only way to call out to a Manderville is, of course, to do the Manderville dance. Unable to deny the call of the dance, Hildibrand appears, donning all white with white face paint and wings. After attempting to fly, he ever so gracefully falls from a nearby tree, crashing to the ground. We call out to Hildibrand, Gentleman of Light, but he does not know that name. Here, he is the Forgiven Gentleman, Devourer of Sins, Light Warden Extraordinaire.
Well, there's only one way to get his memory back now. We light up one of Nashu's bombs we brought with us and pitch a fastball at Hildibrand, but he somehow manages to bump the bomb back over our heads. Setting up an illegal 3-hit combo, we manage to volley the bomb back towards Hildibrand and set up a spike, heading right for him. On hit, the bomb explodes, knocking him to the ground, a familiar scene to be sure. As he emerges, he's back to his normal self, tattered clothes and all.
As he comes to, he wonders how the world has become so purple and attempts to recall what happened to him. As he remembers his time in the interdimensional rift, we receive a vision from the Echo. We see Hildibrand in his spectral form enter the first during the meteor shower from a while back. It's there that he ran into Gia, who gave him a good old dwarven decking, punching him into the side of the cliff. When he came to, the meteor shower had ceased and he was no longer a spectral. As he broke free, he saw a local cry out at seeing a Sin Eater above them. Looking on as the Sin Eater flew away, Hildibrand somehow convinced himself that he too must be a Sin Eater. As our vision fades, we tell Hildibrand where he actually is and why it's so purple here. And as expected, Hildibrand promises to make it back to his faithful fans on the Source.
We explain to Hildibrand that if he wants to get back to the Source, we'll need Becklug's help to restore his soul with a spirit vessel. Hildibrand is on board with the plan, so we head to the Cabinet of Curiosity. Upon arriving, Hildibrand greets the genius soul Sommelier and his adorable little puppy. Before Hildibrand gets himself trapped on the First forever, we redirect the conversation, asking Becklug if we can get help sending our friend back to the Source. We offer over the spirit vessel that the Crystal Exarch entrusted to us as the median, and combined with Becklug's Porksy, we are able to store Hildibrand's soul in the spirit vessel. We say goodbye to our friends on the First and return back to Radzahan on the Source.
To be fair to Hildibrand, Becklug does kinda look like a cute doggo.
Aren't cats supposed to dislike dogs?
I'm not a cat. I mean, it's not the same.
Whatever you say, cat.
We quickly return to Nashu and hand her the soul vessel, only to find that Hildibrand's body is missing. She believes that he must have vanished when she went to the market. We ask around and one witness claims to have seen someone leave the area with a heavy body bag. Very suspicious. We also meet Delian, an editor-in-the-chief for the Thavnarian Truth, a paper exploring otherworldly phenomena. He apparently knows the culprit. He says they come from the heavens, from beyond the great expanse, descending in saucer-shaped airships to study our world. So, aliens. Aliens seem like old news at this point, but okay.
He claims these aliens are in league with the Sharlians, who've been providing them vital information on our vulnerabilities in exchange for a position of power within their regime. Delian even blames the final days on these aliens. He mentions how they must have Hildibrand on the moon while they poke and probe him as their floppy ears wiggle with fiendish delight. With that, Delian has said too much and runs off.
We explain to Nashu that if Hildibrand is on the moon, we needn't worry. But we should check on this report of a man carrying a large body bag first, just to be sure. We track the man down to Alzadal's path where he was seen with the merchant. When we question the merchant, he confirms our mystery man was here and he bought a chocobo too for a pretty hefty price. He muttered something about going to Saltwind's Welcome in a hurry.
We race down to the shoreline and find an Aura with a mysterious sack in tow. In order to confirm our suspicions, we hide behind a rock and wait to see who else shows up. Turns out, Mr. Chupacabra is back to his old scheming ways. Shocker. The Aura reveals Hildibrand's body and accepts payment from the evil alchemist. With Hildibrand in Jubraka's possession, he calls forth Dr. Lugay, and a robotic war machine springs from the ocean. Oddly enough, Lugay is interested in the durability of the Monderville body.
Dr. Lugay complains about his defeat alongside his beautiful son in the Tower of Babel. With Hildibrand's body to command as his own, he can seek revenge. As for payment, Lugay has the entire fortune of House Brutus at his disposal to share with Jubraka, his loyal minion. Jubraka resolved to never renounce his evil ways, for surely this time nothing bad will happen.
Dr. Lugay in the Tower of Babel. Sounds kind of familiar, but also very forgettable.
I think he just went by Lugay back then when we fought him in the Tower of Babel, aka the Garlean Imperial Palace. He was just a small road bump on our way to reaching Xenos and Fandaniel at the time.
Alright, enough is enough. It's time to step in and spoil Jubraka's fun. The sight of us, the Warriors of Light, sends Dr. Lugay running with Hildibrand in hand. Looks like he remembers us. As the dust clears, Nashu throws the very fragile spirit vessel out at Hildibrand. Her aim is true though, and the spirit vessel connects with his body, releasing his soul. It also knocks Hildibrand on the head, immediately knocking him back out for the moment. When he comes to, Dr. Lugay drops him in shock, and Hildibrand uses his superhuman speed to evade the doctor's attempts to recapture him. That is, until he jumps on top of the doctor's missiles and accidentally activates one of them. The missile flies high into the sky, and Hildibrand along with it.
Looks like Hildibrand will get to meet the aliens on the moon after all.
No, I think it ran out of juice. Something is hurtling back towards Earth.
As he falls back towards the beach, Hildibrand adjusts the missile's course, this time heading straight for Dr. Lugay. The explosion is massive, burying Hildibrand and scattering Lugay's body pieces everywhere. As the dust settles, the Razathan authorities come by to take Jubraka and Dr. Lugay's head into custody. Hildibrand pulls himself free and apologizes for the rather explosive entrance. Ha ha, some things never change.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, a beam of light envelops Hildibrand. A UFO tractor beams up Hildibrand and flies away. Huh. Another alien.
Do you think we should be worried about Hildibrand?
Nah, he'll be fine for now. We'll come back later and rescue him.
True. Let's head back to the market and grab some ice cream.
As Hildibrand is spirited away, that strange reporter Delian from earlier runs out, excited to have seen an alien abduction with his own eyes. If only he knew what was really out there. But we'll get to that later. First, we'll take Nashu back to Razathan. Meanwhile, in Mare Limitorium, the UFO spits out Hildibrand on the moon, along with another creature. He's a cute little guy, who will hopefully keep Hildibrand company until we find him.
After our ice cream break, we check back in with Nashu, who has a lead for us on where Hildibrand has been taken. After giving us back the spirit vessel, she mentions seeing an article about alien abductions, written by Delian, the sci-fi weirdo who we talked with earlier. He's apparently looking to investigate the moon using the teleporter in Garlemald. Nashu thinks we should do the same. Seeing no harm in letting Nashu run around on the moon, we journey with her to Garlemald.
Clearance to use the teleporter is a bit hard to secure for the average person, though. As we approach, we see Delian, editor-in-chief, stuck outside, unable to gain entrance to the teleporter. Using our status as the Warriors of Light, we let the guard know that we're looking to save our friend on the moon and convince them to let us take Nashu and Delian too, since they'll be able to help in the search. Delian is just excited to join so that he can expose the aliens' evil intentions of world domination.
We take the lunar gate up to the moon, only for Delian to run on ahead at the sight of the Watcher's tower. We chase after him, but it's too late. He's already met the Watcher and Elaborate. Great, how are we going to explain this one before he passes out from the shock? We quickly attempt to explain how we saved the world from despair and that everything on this moon is really just a creation of the ancients as a fallback that we didn't end up needing to use. In short, the Loperates are peaceful.
Nashu needs no convincing, nor time to acclimate. She immediately asks them if they've seen a tattered gentleman roaming about on the moon. Unfortunately, they haven't, but the Loperate suggests that perhaps someone in Bestway's burrow has. And at the very least, perhaps seeing the devices built to benefit mankind will convince Delian that the bunnies are not evil.
After we arrive, we tour around the Loperate headquarters while Delian throws around his conspiracy theories at everything he sees. Unfortunately, nobody we ask has seen Hildibrand. However, Weaving Way did see an unidentified flying object over in the south of Mare Lamentorum. Seeing it as our only promising lead, we head out to take a look. How could someone suspect these cute little bunnies are evil?
Would you have suspected a cute little bird girl to become evil? Maybe our world will corrupt the bunnies too.
Bird Girl was weird. I never liked her.
Is it because you're a cat? Out on the rocks, we spot the UFO that took Hildibrand. As we chase it over the hill, we come up on Hildibrand stuck in the ground. Well, actually, we come up on multiple Hildibrands stuck in the ground. One by one, they emerge, all claiming to be the true Hildibrand. And as anyone would expect, they all admire themselves. Nashu thinks bombs will sort out the real one, but blowing them all up won't tell us anything. We're going to need to use the powers of deduction with this one.
We observe them all for a moment and try to pick out the real inspector while they all dance in sync. It's a bit of a head scratcher, but thankfully the UFO reappears and blasts them all, evaporating the clones. It then sends down what we can only assume to be the real Hildibrand along with a small blue alien. This Hildibrand assures us that he's truly the one we're looking for. The blue alien he's with is named Master Poo-Poo, and he says the whole kidnapping thing was just a misunderstanding, and Master Poo-Poo does not wish to wage any clone wars.
During Hildibrand's explanation, we receive a vision from the Echo. It shows us Hildibrand's first meeting with Master Poo-Poo, and how the blue alien generated a battalion of Monderville clones. When asked to clean up the mess, Master Poo-Poo bombed the clones until they were all stuck in the ground. Well, all except one, which fled the scene. The UFO flies off into the stars and our vision ends.
From what we've gathered, Master Poo-Poo can understand us, but he can't communicate back. Thankfully, our powers of the Echo help us understand it so we can make out what Master Poo-Poo is saying behind the flurry of poo noises it makes. It says that it hails from a star a long way from here and that it is in search of a friend whose communications halted mid-exploration. We relay the message to the group, and of course Hildibrand swears that he'll reunite Master Poo-Poo with his lost friend. Sounds like we've got a new case to solve.
That's right. So begins the case of the silent correspondent. Not having much to go on, Hildibrand channels the energy in his mind to figure out our next move. You've got to be kidding me. Before he can have a miraculous discovery, the Loprit from earlier stops by, saying they've been looking for us. They say the well-muscled gentleman we've been looking for is over in northern Mare Lamatorium, which is odd, because Hildibrand is right here with us.
We ask Master Poo-Poo if it's possible that one of the clones escaped the vaporization beam from earlier, and the alien confirms that one did in fact escape. Seems like we have an imposter among us. Hildibrand doesn't want a clone running around besmirching the Manderville name, so we all agree to capture and vaporize this imposter inspector. Goodness knows one Hildibrand is enough for this universe.
We split the search party up in two, leaving Dillion with the two aliens. As we travel with Hildibrand and Nashu, we come across a few dead monsters that all have a goldsmith's hammer stuck in their head, though Hildibrand awkwardly pushes the clues aside, saying they don't pertain to the current case. As we keep searching, we meet back up with the others in time to spot the imposter atop a hill in the distance. The clone is sad, very unlike the real Hildibrand. But then, out of nowhere, smoke fills the area as none other than Godbert Manderville enters and spots the Hildibrand clone. He's surprised and excited to see his son on the moon of all places, and rushes to the clone to express his Manderville fatherly love. But the clone ignores Godbert as he flails about, very confused at how his son is acting.
It's at this point Godbert spies us on the sidelines and eyes his real son. They race around the moon at a breakneck speed until Godbert grabs his son and begins to spin him around as usual. Seeing his fellow self in need of a hand, Hildibrand's clone grabs hold and gets taken along for the ride in what can only be described as the Manderville dance of ephemeral twins. The two Hildibrands fall back down to the moon, hitting the flying saucer on the way and getting stuck in the forgotten welcome surprise built by the Loporits for the people of Aetheris. Damaged from the collision with the Hildibrands, the UFO begins spitting out all the junk it's been collecting. Godbert defends us against the falling items, leaving a mess of junk around us. However, Godbert spies a rare ore on the ground and goes to retrieve it. Perhaps it could be useful.
We clean up the mess and send the clone back, explaining to Godbert how we saved his son and of our latest mission. But Godbert is the least bit interested in what we're doing. Instead, he wishes to return to Radzahan with the new ore he found on the moon in hopes of recreating the Monderville family heirloom weapons. Meanwhile, Hildibrand and Nashu must devote their mental energies to the case of the silent correspondent. They run off to begin their search in that direction, for justice waits for no man, not even one who is little and blue.
Nice. Dalian told me he'd pay us to help him with his investigation into Master Poo-Poo. Maybe we should be proactive and ask this Poo-Poo some questions.
Sounds good. He's right over there. Follow my lead. So, buddy, we hear you lost your friend out in space. Is that really why you're here?
Can we no longer understand it? Why is it just saying poo-poo?
Now you listen here. We're gonna get the answers we need, and you're gonna tell us what we want to know. Are you in league with the evil alchemist?
I think it's doing that on purpose.
If you enjoyed the video, please help support the channel by dropping a like and letting us know what you think in the comments below.
If you enjoy Final Fantasy XIV lore summaries, consider subscribing to the channel. Did you spot Nashu's stalker during these Hildibrand quests? He's well hidden. If you're wondering where you can find him in previous expansions, check out our video on Nashu's stalker, where we show you all of his hidden locations.
Thanks for watching.